market, the Island generation. Today a tip, Volkswagen, remember those guys, okay? In the news real heavy right now in October 2015 because some rogue software guys made some modifications to the code of their cars and caused them to run really well. It seems strange. So it's a hack that actually was beneficial to the owners and Volkswagen itself up until this point when the government found out. It's basically okay. Doesn't seem like a hack. It doesn't seem like rogue guys. It seems like somebody had a mandate. But whatever. You know, let's look at that for a moment. How did this happen, or how could this happen? Let me explain the technical details real quick so you get an idea. If you've got a Volkswagen diesel, you're one of the 11 million people so far that's getting a recall coming down the road around the world. How did that Volkswagen situation occur? Well, it seems a number of years back, some programmers added a small amount of code that basically said, hey, when you're driving down the road, you're turning the wheel like this and you're driving down the road and make the performance as good as possible. Don't worry about exhaust fumes. Concentrate on the turbo kicking in. Concentrate on performance. Concentrate on leaning in with the vehicle. Do everything possible to make the performance hot and fast because that's what I want your experience to be. However, if this is the way it was done, then my opinion would be they programmed it so that when you pulled into a station to get an exhaust check, emissions check, what happens is they rev up your car, they put all the meters in, they do everything, but they don't steer the car. And by not steering the car, all the program has to do is put, if steering wheel doesn't move, then performance should be like this. And what that did was put the system in a mode where it could say, I'm not going to emit any bad smog. I'm not going to do anything with the turbo boost or any other component. I'm going to retard timing or do something, whatever's necessary, or increase timing. Doesn't matter. You get the point that I'm going to react differently because I know there's not a human behind the wheel, because a human at this speed on the dyno would be driving. Otherwise, there's no roads that are this straight where there wouldn't be small little adjustments. So with that in mind, that allowed you to beat the testing because, of course, the exhaust looks fine. But nobody's driving down the road with you, grabbing the exhaust as you start steering and performing. The problem with all this is, and it is a problem, is that they're going to do a fix. They're going to do a software update. Makes sense. They're going to take out that code. But what happens? If they take out that code, your performance is going to go in a hole. It is not going to be the car you thought you bought. And that is a major problem, okay? That means that now when you drive it, you may step on the gas and it doesn't really go anywhere. Or that your performance in passing drops out. Whatever happens, they have to make that car more efficient in the sense of the amount of pollutants it puts out, because right now it's putting out 40 times the pollutants that it should, and they have to cut that back down to, well, basically 0 point because it can't go over that limit. So that gives you a problem, because once you go in there to get it updated and you get the recall done, your performance is probably going to knock off. Now, that assumes they don't come out marketing-wise and say, hey, you know, we're going to fix the software. You know, it's going to be just as good performance as you had before, and have the EPA happy and all the other governments around the world happy. Well, let's think about that and say, why didn't they just do that in the first place? Why didn't they do that at any stage? More importantly, I really wonder why any car company out there wouldn't have said, well, why is Volkswagen performing so much better than ours? Grabbed one of these, put it back in the lab, took it all apart and said, hey, look, these yahoos did something that's not right. I'm sure somebody probably did, but then you have to think, well, maybe they also did something screwy to cause their cars to perform well. So this could bandwagon into more cars as we go down the road, so to speak. Pun intended. The other side of that is when they say they're going to give you this upgrade, the likelihood that it's going to be as good as performance as you had before in the sense of driving, okay, in the sense of doing things, is very low. Okay, I just don't think that's going to happen because I think they could have fixed that already, or the fix would be in the can. They'd be ready to implement it. You're going to lose something. So you're just not going to have, in my opinion, the same car that you had before, because Volkswagen has installed what we now know is FARTVERGNUGEN, or in this case, it's FARTVERGNUGEN. And FARTVERGNUGEN is what's coming out of the back of your Volkswagen that's destroying the ozone layer and your health. Horrible. FARTVERGNUGEN. Think about it. Mark Burnett at The Island Generation. Help it out, you guys.